He fought against empires, faked his own death more than once, escaped prison with crocodiles waiting outside, and ended up leading the largest Nazi spy ring ever caught in the United States. This isn't a movie. This is the life of Fritz Duquesne, a man who lied, betrayed, and deceived his way into the darkest pages of history. Some called him a hero, others a traitor, but everyone agrees on one thing: his story is unbelievable. Fritz Duquesne was born in 1877 in Cape Colony, modern-day South Africa. He came of age during one of the bloodiest and most personal colonial wars in history, the Second Boer War. British forces destroyed Boer farms, imprisoned civilians, and executed those who resisted. Among the victims, Duquesne's own family. He watched as his mother was abused, his sister died in a concentration camp, and his home was burned to ashes. For Fritz, hatred of the British wasn't politics. It was vengeance, and it would define the rest of his life. In 1901, during the height of the Boer War, Duquesne was captured by the British in Mozambique. But prison couldn't contain him. Using raw cunning, he staged his own death, replacing himself with a corpse in his cell, then escaping into the jungle. He swam through crocodile-infested rivers and vanished into the wild. For weeks he was presumed dead. But he wasn't dead. He re-emerged in Europe, not as a refugee, but as a speaker and military advisor. Then, as the world headed toward another war, he transformed once again into a spy. By World War I, Duquesne was living in New York. Charming, multilingual, and theatrical, he posed as everything from a journalist to a big game hunter. He dined with the elite, seduced wealthy women, and told tales of African battles and lion hunts. But behind the scenes, he was sending ship locations and sabotage instructions to Germany. He even claimed credit for sinking the HMS Hampshire, the British warship that killed Lord Kitchener, one of the architects of the Boer concentration camps. Whether that was true or not is debated. What's certain is that he hated the British so much he'd work with anyone, even their worst enemies. Duquesne was arrested in 1917, tried for sabotage, and imprisoned. But again, he escaped. This time faking paralysis so convincingly that guards believed he couldn't walk. When they stopped watching, he slipped out of the hospital and disappeared. He spent the next 2 decades moving between aliases, continents, and causes. Sometimes he was pro-German, sometimes pro-American, but always anti-British. To some, he was a freedom fighter. To others, a psychopath. By 1939, Fritz Duquesne was no longer a lone wolf. He became the head of the infamous Duquesne spy ring, 33 German agents operating in the United States. Their mission: gather intel on American shipping, weapons, and military movements, and pass it to Nazi Germany. The FBI watched for over a year before striking. In 1941, they arrested all 33 spies in one of the largest espionage operations in American history. Duquesne, now in his 60s, was sentenced to 18 years in federal prison. He never escaped again. Duquesne died in 1956 in a New York hospital for the poor. Alone, forgotten, no statue, no headlines. He had lived more lives than most people dream of. Soldier, hunter, journalist, spy, liar, and in the end, he vanished as quietly as he had reappeared so many times before. He remains one of the most fascinating and dangerous con men in modern history. Some believe he truly fought for justice. Others believe he fought for no one but himself. This was the story of Fritz Duquesne, the man who betrayed everyone. If you want more true stories stranger than fiction, subscribe now. You won't believe what's coming next.